Howdy, howdy, it's the Rodfather. 916. The Scott sisters, how did it get this bad? I'm not a psychologist. I don't have a degree in psychology or any, but I've worked with the public for more than 50 years. Directly with the public. And anybody who's worked at Target or 7-Eleven for a long time or worked in retail, you get a sense on how people are and what they want. You even get a glimpse of their personalities. Life has a natural rhythm. Crawl, walk. Hurt, anger. These are natural reactions. Let's stick with hurt and anger for right now, shall we? For at least 40 years, Tamika knew she was second to her mother. Now, she has stepchildren. She has stepbrothers and step siblings, but she lived with her mother and her sister, and she felt less than. Now, how much of this is true? We don't live in that house, so we don't know. But what we do understand and can feel, and that's why Tamika is getting all the flowers, and LaTocha is getting all the thorns. Because we can relate to some extent of what she's going through. As a dad with grown children, I want peace. Gloria, their mother, is different. For whatever reason, whatever hurt she has, which I think is rooted, she has never gotten over the separation and later and subsequent divorce of her marriage. And she's angry at Tamika and what she represents. I would say never underestimate children. Tamika learned that probably in her teens, that she had a lot of her personality was her dad, which is natural. You're going to have, you're a part of your mother and your father. From the interview I saw with the father didn't know. And like Tamika, he didn't really have harsh words to say. He also said that LaTocha hadn't called him, but they had all been together and gone to dinner, but I'm not going to spend a lot of time with that. But as a dad, as a parent, you want peace. Even though you might agree with the other person, because you're a human being, and if you've experienced hurt. As I said in yesterday's video, most of LaTocha's pain is self-inflicted. All the things that's happening to her, and I'm really sorry about that. I truly am. And Rocky is self-inflicted. Rocky's embarrassed because one of these baby mamas or people you've had an affair with, one of these stories may be true. And then there's the money after receipts. Instead of being silent, now, I would just apologize. I think it's just easier. You can live with yourself, and you have no reason to go and explain it. It was an oversight. I did it. I'm sorry. But that's not Tasha, and that's not a lot of people. And, listen, I'm not there. But Tasha I suspect Gloria, the mother, and Rocky were calling Tamika a liar. Again, from yesterday's videos, I don't think the intent of Tamika was ever to leak this information on the press, particularly on camera. I don't think that was ever her intent. However, she was ganged on, and she threw everything that she had, including this story. And Tamika, who has been her sister, who has been there for her sister, lied, sacrificed, could have hurt herself. The fact that her sister, that she's protected and loved, stay with me here, but the sister she's loved and protected because she wants to love from her mother. She's got 3 people jumping on her now, and they're all calling her a liar. As her father, I would say, baby, let me hug you. Let it go. Look at your life. But at the end of the day, she's human. And as her dad, I'd have to respect that. I don't have to agree. You don't have to agree with what your friends do or your children's do. You may not agree with their lifestyles, but you have to respect them. My kids are grown. I did the best I could. Me and their mom, we did the best we could. But this is their life, and it's their time to make mistakes. And I think with these people that she's forgiven. She's let things slide all this time. All of this time she's let this slide. The lies. But now they've raised the ante. They're going on social media, and all these outlets, she's being called a liar. And so she said to herself, all bets are off. I got the receipts. I don't care what telephone numbers I leave on them, because she was a little careless. She left mom's telephone number and some other telephone numbers on the receipts, which thankfully somebody has found and crossed some of the information out, but she didn't care. Her hurt turned into anger. And that anger and what she did came from her hurt, her pain. And so she released them. And that releasing of that information was like a hydrogen bomb. Everybody's exposed. Now, I have not heard this. I can only go by other bloggers and other information, but in her 20s, she did a sex tape, and she trusted sister. She gave it to her. And allegedly, because no one knows, I don't think she said anything, but actually, I think she has, actually. I'm going to correct myself. That Rocky threatened to release the sex tape. Well, she told everybody she did it. So, if he does it, he can go to jail for blackmail. And she doesn't have to do a thing. She doesn't have to do a thing. She's got all the receipts. The statute of limitations probably run off of him, but it clears her. Now, again, someone with common sense, and common sense isn't common, would have said, you got me. I'd have taken my big fat ass, put the tails between my, and walked slowly and said, yes, she was right. Yeah, I lied. Because there's no way out. LaTocha and Rocky didn't do that. They doubled down, tripled down. And that's why they're in the situation they're in today. What would you have done if you were Tamika? Be honest, what would you have done? With everybody calling you a liar, and you have guarded the secrets. LaTocha's mistake was you should honor your husband, and you shouldn't put your husband or your wife. And I tell my children and my nephew and nieces, don't share information with the rest of the family. You want to put your spouse ahead of the rest of the family at this point. However, there was a secret, and the fact that Rocky wanted to expose her sister would have told me, and probably a lot of you would say, wait a minute, I've honored you, but this is what you're doing is completely wrong, and I can't support this. I can't support this. I've disagreed with you. I've disagreed with my mom. I've been a dutiful wife or a dutiful husband, but now you want to blackmail my sister? Hold on for a minute. No. This is what we need to stop. You have to understand, I'm ready to call Pookie, Ray, everybody here to beat your ass because you're not doing this to my sister. I love you, but I'm not going to let you do this wrong to my sister. And as a dad, I would probably discreetly tell their mom, my former wife, what did you think? Yeah, between the two of us, I support this. But my kids would never know. That would be between, because me and my former wife, we get along well. We have a great relationship. But I would have said to her, I'd have called and said, I don't agree with that. And she'd probably say the same. I don't agree with that, but yeah, I'm glad she did it. Because he's wrong. And from that point forward, I'm looking at him like this. I'm looking at you sideways. So as a rod father, I'm very humble when I say this. 10% of my subscribers went up yesterday. And a lot of you had kind words to say, and I'm humbled. I'm trying to build this from an organization, and years later I'll get into the story that I was on. If you've never seen me before, some of you, if you live in the southern states, have seen me on other podcasts. I used to review the Real Housewives of Atlanta, and but things went left, so I'm rebuilding. But I want to appreciate your kind words, and I hope and I'm happy that you're sharing this information. My goal here is not to tear anybody up, tear anybody down, even Rocky, because he'll have to answer for his actions. And I believe, and nobody has to subscribe to what I believe, is if I'm here to tear your blessings and tear you down, I'm going to mess my blessings up. I'm going to, for lack of a better word, well, I just said it, I'm going to mess up my blessings. So I'm not here to tear anybody up. And those comments, I'm glad you're all respectful. That's something I demand. You can disagree. I disagree with a lot of people. You may see me fighting on another podcast somewhere, but you need to be respectful at the end of the day. So I'm ending here, a little bit shorter, hopefully. Wishing everybody who sees this podcast, honestly, wish you love, joy, peace, and happiness. Happiness is a choice. You can choose to be happy, or thank you a lot for watching. This is the Rod Father. Look at that chest. I'm out. Bye.